I'll speak for myself because I put a message out about it this weekend. I believe, leadership sometimes is the right leadership for the times, and then sometimes the environment changes and leadership simply isn't the right leadership for the times. I believe wholesale, personally me, that the leadership in place is not the right leadership for the time. They are failing. I believe, and again, this is my position, because I think the position of the group right now is on the school board, which has continued to fail, which made a mockery of what should be happening in a process 2 days ago at the televised meeting that I think most people saw, where they blame each other for decisions that were made and unmade, where, April, I think I'm going to turn around to you in a minute because you were there this morning, where this current school board has constituted thinks 2017 was the best year. I can look around right now and I can tell you with certainty 2017 was the worst year. But the school board, they think it was the best year. That's what they said this morning. They should be fired. April?
This morning I attended the State of the District address at Bailey Hall, where our school board member Donna Korn stood up in front of all district administrators and said that last year was an amazing year. In fact, she said it was the best year in Broward schools. Being an employee of the school district and a mother who has endured such tragedy, it was difficult to hear those words. Because I know we are not the only ones in Broward County who struggle. We know that it wasn't an amazing year. We know that it wasn't the best year in Broward schools. So this is the kind of leadership we have. Leadership that wants to say one thing instead of acknowledging the problems that we have, being honest, saying we understand there was a problem and we're here to fix it. Leadership matters. Leadership is doing what is right. Leadership is doing what is the best for our children, because that's what we have schools for, is for our children. And when we have leaders that wait for others to do their job for them, they ask others to do their own investigations, they ask others to take roles that they should take on their own, that is not the leadership we need. We need leaders who are compassionate, we need leaders who understand, and leaders that lead. We do not have that here in Broward County. And if you don't understand what we're saying, pick any school board meeting. They're on the school board website. Pick one. Watch it in its entirety. And just think, is this the kind of leadership we want in our Broward County schools? And if it isn't, then you, as a community, have the power to make that change. We've been hearing it from our own children, our community. We've been hearing that inaction is not leadership. And we have the right to vote and make change. We should not be inactive. We should not withhold our vote. We should definitely make the right choices for our county, and we need change.
Excuse me, guys, I'm just going to step in and add one thing. Where is the accountability? We're about to send children back to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. The head of security is still in place. The same gentleman who was in charge on February 14th when our loved ones were murdered in that school. Where is the accountability in the entire community? Please don't think that it can't happen to you, because I promise you, it can happen anywhere.
Lots of school districts are struggling getting to the point of having enough security. I did a survey of all. How is Broward struggling more or differently, do you think, than other school districts around the state of this?
I can just talk about my experience after the tragedy. I formed a task force in coordination with the district to vet companies that wanted to donate their products and sell their products into the district to improve the security district-wide. And it was the most frustrating process I've ever been through. We had a vendor conference where we had 10 of the largest and best companies come before our task force, present their products to us and their recommendations. We had extremely generous donations of over $2 million of products, and then I spent the next 3 months trying to get these products into the schools, trying to get the school districts to approve them with no success at all. All I met were failures, and I had to talk to this person, that person. The right hand did not know what the left hand was doing. It is extremely, it's just frustrating dealing with this district. There is no accountability. There's no leadership, and we don't want this to happen to other schools. We don't want this to happen to any other children. So please, I was on the inside. I was dealing with them. I have not come public at all, but enough is enough. And we've got to protect our children. These people do not have any sense of urgency. As Tony said, I never thought this would happen to Parkland. This can happen anywhere, and we need all of the county's support, everyone's help to come out and vote. We need new leadership in this county to bring us forward.
And if I could, all those other counties did not have what happened at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, where 17 people died and 17 were pretty seriously injured. The leadership here is going through a process that the other counties are not going through, and they're failing at it. They are unable to make clear, concise direction. They are unable to make decisions that they can agree upon and commit to. If you watch the meeting that happened this past Tuesday, where they were blaming each other for what happened with metal detectors and who approved it, who didn't approve it, and arguing over it, it's kind of unique right now to Broward County. They are not Broward County is different. And the leadership in place is not able to rise above it. And right now, we need leadership that is not affected by what happened and can look clearly and concisely and set a plan of action for the safety of our kids.
Let me give 2 examples of other counties. You raised the issue of what's different here. I'm going to give you 2 examples of leadership. One, Polk County. Polk County acted quickly to implement the Aaron Feist Guardian Program. They've had over 600 applicants. They've got 2 classes that have graduated through there, and they'll have a guardian in every school in Polk County. That's example number 1. That's leadership. Example number 2, Miami-Dade Public Schools. Visited the superintendent there, had a good discussion with him. What did he do? He pulled the mayors and chiefs of police of every community in Miami-Dade County. He said, we have a responsibility to protect the children in our schools. We don't have the budget to do that ourselves in Miami-Dade schools, so we're going to look to you to help us solve that problem. And there will be armed security in every school in Miami-Dade County. That's leadership. That's what we're lacking here. It's not reacting, it's not infighting, it's setting priorities and then delivering results. That's what we need here in Broward County, and that's what's different right now.
So it is all about leadership. From the beginning, the superintendent flip-flopped to the whole county in Broward. He was deceitful. There were school board meetings when he called it fake news, when people stood up and asked him about the crimes that 1958 committed. He said fake news when we asked him about the Promise Program, and then only to find out a month later he was in the Promise Program, and he never even showed up when he went into the Promise Program. So he flip-flops. That was his first flip-flop that we picked up. I did. Then the school board, they flip-flopped on the Guardian Program that was named after a hero, Melissa's husband here, who's a hero, who the families went up to Tallahassee to get a bill passed to protect the kids in Broward County and the teachers, and we got a school board and a superintendent that votes against the hero at Stoneman Douglas that went in unarmed. They flip-flopped on it. A superintendent hired by that school board to protect our kids and teachers. I went up to Polk County, where there is leadership, like Ryan said. I got a call from the sheriff there, Grady Judd. I met with Grady in Polk County. I met with Superintendent Byrd. They put their kids, they put their teachers ahead of their political agenda, and that's what being in a school board and a superintendent's about. It's about what you do for your kids and your children, and that's not what they're doing in Broward County. He flip-flopped on the metal detectors. He told the families, we're going to put metal detectors in. What happens 2 weeks later? He flip-flops, we're not going to do that. He flip-flopped on this internal report to look into the administration, what went wrong. And you know why? I'm all in on this from the beginning, and I say this word, I tell it to all my family and friends, accountability. My daughter was murdered with all these families here. Who was accountable? If Mr. Pollock and Fred didn't go up to the school, you'd still have Medina working at the school at that gate, that monitor. That's another monitor Medina. You know what's going to be at the school this year? Nothing against all these other monitors, but Broward County, they put 15 monitors at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas with radios. Haven't they learned that that doesn't work? What are they going to do with their radios, these guys? 15 monitors. They could have hired 8 trained, professional, retired law enforcement instead of having, for the same price, 8 of them at the school. We got monitors going to protect all the kids. I don't have a kid, but if I was a parent in Parkland or any school in Broward, I'd be up in arms. I'd be like marching on the school board. Why don't we have what Polk County has? They were able to do it. Why can't we do it? We got a bigger tax base in Broward. They're the poorest county in the state. How could they do it? It boils down to leadership. So that brings me back to leadership. And that's why I've been dedicating my life on this school board race and to get my candidate, Rich Mendelson, into District 6, where he's going to make a difference. Rich Mendelson in District 6 is going to put kids and teachers first, just like my friend Ryan Petty. No political agenda. He wants to do what's right. And if the parents don't want what's right, then sit home these days and don't vote and send your kid to school with monitors at the gates, looking at your kids walk in with monitors and radios. So I urge everyone out there to early voting starts August 18th. That's all you got to do. That's all the parents want you to do is go out and vote on the 18th and make a difference. And the last election day is the 28th. That's what we're asking you to do. Go out and vote. Sure.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, no, they don't. It's okay. We're here as a family. That's something separate. So we just want everyone to vote. I'll comment on it another time. But we're here all together. We might have different views, but we never criticize each other. We all love each other. We're in a group that we don't want any other parent ever to be in this country. And we're asking you to go out and vote now. That's why we're here today. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
I got it. Well, we'll just say that we've pointed out that the school board's had many failures, and we believe they could make the changes if they need to. Thank you.
Okay, the press conference is over. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.